My experience and my observation is that most women are men in skirts, meaning that the way their presence, their being, the way we roll in the world, it's very masculine because we've been conditioned and programmed out of our feminines. And when I say, I don't mean feminist movement in the world, I want to be a fireman or a football player. I'm talking about, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how to be a woman in your being. What is the distinction between feminine power and masculine power? And we've been conditioned and trained to be men in skirts. We do everything like men. We compete like men. I said this on the R Spot a few weeks ago. I said, most women want their boyfriend to act like their girlfriends, chatting, shopping. But when the man comes home, what they meet is another dude.
So I align with a lot of what Dame Ayanla says here. Today's culture has a lot of women convinced that being womanly is trying to either separate yourself from anything even remotely feminine. So that's where you get these women who, try to take on the worst of masculine traits. They're brusque, they're aggressive, they're kind of unhygienic. And then overwhelming yourself with extreme hyperfemininity with no balance. So you get the trad wife who goes to the other end of the extreme of womanhood. She glosses very briefly over this, but I just want to relate even further and highlight the constant dichotomous conversation between these two aspects of womanhood and how these two should not be at war for control over you. The side of women that wants to be this sort of wild, running with the wolves, separating herself from men, from children, from caring, I call this the Lilith aspect. She's very selfish and self-concerned. And then there's the side that wants to cling to her man and her children and give this outpour of love and doting care for them. I call this the Eve aspect. Currently in our culture, these two sides of womanhood are at war. You have women who want to be hypersexual, who want to be promiscuous, who want to do what men do, but those same women feel like they're lacking something when they look at the women who are doing the polar opposite. And then you have women who, cling to their husbands, their children, their housewives. They do all of these things, but they also at the same time deeply want to sort of experience this sort of wild running with the wolves aspect of womanhood. Both women end up finding themselves missing something. And I don't believe they are missing something in life. Rather, I believe they are missing their other half. Eve longs for her Lilith aspect and Lilith for her Eve. But you balance these two by being both at the same time, by being both this independent aspect of yourself, but has a healthy sexuality that is concerned with your own self, and at the same time being this aspect of yourself that is concerned with the care of others like your husband, your kids. These things are okay with balance. The trouble is when you get burnt out being in one side of yourself, one side of your extreme for far too long. And it is no one's job but your own to draw you out of it. This is your personality split that's going on inside of your body, your left and right brain, right? And you have to only attach yourself to men who get it, men who don't force you into feeling like you have to go to either extreme. I could say a lot more about this, but I'll just say this. Until women find a way to balance both and live in harmony with both these sides of themselves, we will continue to see these ultra masculine women and these uber passive women in society. Oh, and go and shop my boutique, the Modest Bombshell brand, for the women who want to balance themselves out and not give up one aspect of themselves for the other. I made this brand just for you, who want sex appeal and modesty, glamour and class, grace and a little bit of edge, which is okay. And let me know if you want a longer video of this on my YouTube.